Welcome back to the Martial Arts Mindset Podcast. My name is Rachel Rose, and today I have a very, very special guest with me. He is a man mature beyond his years. He speaks very, very well in everything that I've seen him talk in. He's aptly nicknamed the Gentleman. He's a fighter who shows nothing but good manners and respect inside and outside the ring, standing at a huge 6'6" with a record of 11-0. I welcome the new English cruiserweight champion, John Hedges.
Sounds good, that Rachel. Yeah,
There'd be,
sounds
there,
very good.
woo! There'd be a huge round of applause, but I don't have a studio yet, so you just have to make do with me.
It's pending. It's pending.
How are you doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you. It's been nice since winning the title. Just relaxed, had a week off, caught a bit of sun, went to Morocco, and just back home now. So it's like back in the gym, slowly ticking back over, and getting ready for the next fight.
I mean, it's funny how fast things move in boxing because it feels like you fought like 4 weeks ago, and it was literally like
Yeah, I
a
said the
week.
exact same thing.
Yeah,
I'm feeling like I need to get back in the gym ASAP. And I went in the gym this morning. And I said to I was with my dad. I was like, it's been a week. It ain't even been that long. But in my own head, it's been so long ago. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but it's I'm definitely one of them people. I like routine, so it's nice to get back into it.
yeah, definitely. But I think the because boxing does move really fast. Like you've already got like there's a press conference happening right now, and there's like another fight this
Yeah,
weekend, and da da da. So actually, that like heightened moment. Like everybody's obviously there's still celebration of it. There's still people wanting to talk to you, but there's so much that goes on that you're almost
oh, it
like,
quick.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a quick flip, and that's what I used to say to people when when they'd lose a fight. For example, Johnny, he'd be so gutted and down. I said, but in a week's time, it's all forgot about because someone else has lost. It's so quick, isn't it?
literally. Like it'll be the talk of the town. Like it'll be the talk
Yeah,
of the town for a week, and everyone will discuss it
yep,
and what's going to happen next and da da da. The next time he steps in the ring, yes, all of that stuff will come up again, but people have moved on. It's just
yeah,
obviously
exactly. Yeah, 100%,
you personally, it's your journey, your life, your story, so it's always going to feel bigger, smaller, more emotional
100%.
for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Like it's like it's like lose when you lose a fight. It is like you've lost the world closed up around you, but then suddenly win your next one, it's all back to normal again. Like you say, it doesn't last long, but it's the highs are highs and the lows are lows.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the thing that I'm observing the most with because I've been in boxing since I was 18, so obviously that was only
So,
two
well,
two two years ago, obviously. Uh, so that was like 18 years ago.
that's
And
mental.
I know, crazy. But I never got to fight because I've got a heart condition, so I was never
Okay.
allowed to do it. So in 2022, I did my first bout. I basically signed a waiver and was like, if I die, then whatever, because I just wanted to
It
do
is.
it once.
Oh, really? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose it's the thing. It's like a tick off the bucket list, isn't it?
Yeah, I needed to, and then I became a coach, and then I've kind of moved into the pro world, speaking to people doing journalism and that
Yeah,
kind of thing. And the thing that I'm observing is it, boxers are actually very sensitive people. They're a lot more
yeah. Like
sensitive than people think.
it's a lonely sport, 100%. Like you're literally in. I was saying this, like I literally sat in an interview not long ago that if I didn't make it as a pro, sort of, and kind of doing what I'm doing now, I would have failed myself because I've definitely like if anyone else had spent the time what I've spent in boxing doing any other job, you'd be a master at it. Do you know what I mean? If I went to university for the amount of years I've been boxing, I'd have probably a PhD, is it a doctor's thing, whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? Like I'd have achieved so much. So it's like there's a lot of pressure, and I think the reason for that pressure is because of the commitment and time you have to put in. Do you know what I mean? It's a solo sport. You got no one to fall back on, and yeah, it can be low. It can be lonely sometimes. Do you know what I mean? But I think that's why the highs are so high.
Absolutely, because when you win and when you do well, yes, you thank your team and the people around you, but you know you did that.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's
Yeah.
all on you.
Yeah. So I mean, with that in mind, like how was the kind of the aftermath, the emotions and everything after your win against Nathan Quallis? Because I watched the fight and it was a fantastic fight. You did so well, and
No, I appreciate that.
it was a really it was interesting because right in the beginning, probably for rounds 1 to 3, I was like, oh, this could go either way. Like it was a good start from
Yeah,
both of you. I felt like it was strong from Nathan as well, but there was just it was as these fights do sometimes, your ability just started to expand and expand and expand. The fight just tipped in your favor, and it was just fantastic. It was just such a skilled bout, and I don't feel like there was any ring rust. I don't feel like there was anything in
no,
it
yeah,
that showed you felt off. You seemed really fresh, really strong, and really really in it.
and I think that was what we just said there was like basically half of the worries going into the fight was definitely how am I going to feel going into later rounds. I've never done the 10, even though I've boxed a 10 rounder. He got stopped early in my last fight, so I've never done the distance. And I know Nathan. One thing about him, he's very durable. He's got a bit more experience than me. He's a bit older than me, So it was kind of like I never ever thought I was going to stop him. If I'm honest with you, I thought because even if he goes down, he's getting back up. He done the 10 with Vidal Riley. Obviously Vidal's a great fighter. Um, I just kind of thought it was going to be one of them fights where I kind of went into the fight thinking it could stink the place out if I'm not careful. Like it could be one of them fights where it's a bit not entertaining. There's not a lot going on, but give Nathan his credit. He did come and he did put the fire on. So it was one of them fights where it could have been a clash of styles. But I feel like him bringing the heat, him having a go, him actually genuinely believing he could beat me, made the fight entertaining.
Yeah, it did. It was a really, really good matchup. I think the respect that you showed for each other, and I think probably helped. Do you think, like going in with the fight, thinking there's no way I'm knocking him down, because it kind of
Yeah, yeah,
prepared
yeah.
you mentally?
100%. Like I just moved to my new trainer Ricky Hatton, so hadn't been there long, and he was like, "What's your opponent like?" And I went, "Look, he's from up north." As soon as I told him his name, he was like, "Oh, I know Nathan's uncle. He was I think that his uncle fought Lennox Lewis, and he was quite a big name in boxing." So Ricky knew him straight away, and he was like, "Look, in my opinion, he's a hard night's work. Your levels above him in skills, but it's a hard night's work." So it was that sort of performance. Come out, no marks, no cuts. Felt like I'd just done 10 rounds of sparring. If I'm honest with you, not in like a disrespectful way to him, but it was a kind of a dream fight because got the title 11-0, and I've come out and I'm fine, so we can go again. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I kept thinking as well, which is like just such a ridiculous thing? Because I'm 5'5" and I've got Chihuahua energy. Like I don't think that I'm small, and then I come, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I come in because I spar boys all the time, and I'm in
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
gyms with boys
Being
all
in
the
that
time.
environment, yeah.
Yeah, so I forget that I'm 5'5", and then I'll see like footage or photos, and I'm like, I'm here and people are here. Imagine coming into a fight with you at 6'3" and being short. Like that would just
Yeah, I know.
piss me off. I'd be like,
It's not ideal, is
no.
it?
Like, how am I 6'3" and short in this fight? Because there's no way normally at 6'3" you're going to be battling
Yeah,
with being the
yeah.
shorter fighter.
Well, I think that's what he's been used to. Like they was saying beforehand on interviews how big he is at the weight, and I was kind of thinking it's going to work so much in my favour because it's all well seeing 6'6" on paper, but when you're actually in front of someone and you feel their presence, it's kind of like a big difference, isn't it? So, yeah, when he was saying at the press conference and things like that, and he was like, "I'm massive at this weight," I'm thinking, right, we'll be all right. Do you know what I mean? That's quite a good. If that's kind of your confidence of being big at the weight, when obviously on the night, that's my massive key. Do you know what I mean? I'm six at cruiserweight. I'm very tall, so
Yeah, really tall. Like I've sparred boys who are like 6 foot, and I'm like, this is impossible.
mental in
I,
it.
I feel like in like cartoons when they used to put their hand on the kid's head and they used to windmill. That's literally me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
But you got to have a go. Like that's what I always say about Tyson Fury. Like he's got a chance against absolutely anyone because he's just so big, isn't he?
yeah, long limbed.
Yeah,
You've got to get really good at your inside game, which
mm.
I'm mediocre at.
It's
But
hard. It's hard work.
oh, it is because you have to constantly explode forward and get in and around the jab, which is
People forget
just
how fit you got to be. Just like trying to, like you just said there, waiting and timing yourself. It takes a lot of energy away as well, doesn't it?
yeah. I barely get to spar girls down here because I live in Devon at the moment, and there's
Right.
so few girls that box and box at my level. So it means that it's very
Yeah.
difficult for me to get somebody to actually spar because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
spar
No, I
boys.
can imagine. Yeah. So
But I did manage to spar a girl a few months back who was very short. She was probably about 5'5", and I got to be the taller fighter for a change. And I was like, this is so much more fun.
lovely.
This is way
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
fun.
100%.
Just sit behind the
Get
jab.
behind
It's
the
great.
jabs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
100%.
So let's flip back. Like I want to learn about learn about like young John Hedges, the journey you've been on, how you've got here. So like take me back to like what was the first thing that got you into the sport? What got you falling in love with it?
Uh, it's just family, if I'm honest with you. So I'll come from like it's pretty cliche. Like I come from a fighting family. My dad's been a massive role model in boxing because he's been on my journey since the start. I got basically pushed into a gym. I think the first time I was ever at a boxing match, I was about 2 weeks old, which is mad. So it's kind of like I had no choice to be a boxer, did I? So my brother boxed. He was a good amateur, never turned professional. Um, and then it was kind of just like he boxed at a West Ham boxing club and then Repton Boxing Club, which was like the two main gyms, if especially in our area, but probably in English boxing. So, like I say, our life was boxing. So my brother would come off the school bus at like 3 o'clock or half three, straight off the bus. Dad would chuck him in the car straight up to London, and that was probably from the age my brother was about 10 all the way to about 18. And then by the time he finished, I was coming through, and I was the 10-year-old going up the gym. So I'd say probably for like 20 years of my dad's life, he just spent driving us from Essex to London from like baby age. So yeah, like, it's kind of like I didn't know nothing else. It was like you're coming up the boxing gym, and that was it really. And I got to be honest with you, I actually hated boxing because I used to always see the struggle of my brother. He'd be crying. It'd be like kind of he didn't really want to do it, but my dad was always not a strict parent, but kind of like he wanted the best for us. So kept pushing us in that direction. And obviously, you're seeing your mates go to parties, they're doing all these things, and you're doing none of that. Um, but then again, me and my brother both look back at it. We can only thank him because if we didn't have that guidance, we probably wouldn't be where we are now. So
So
yeah, that's yeah.
what made you pursue pro and your brother step back? Because obviously, like if you're the younger brother coming up, was that
Yeah,
impactful for you seeing him stop, or do you think you were like, why is he stopping? I don't ever want to stop this. Like, what was your? How did that kind
yeah.
of
Like
play out?
I think we looked at it different. Like my brother, he kind of got himself a missus, and he was happy to be settled. Where I kind of like I got with my missus at a very young age as well, but it was kind of like for me, I felt like if I've missed all my childhood, this sounds really bad. If I've missed all my childhood, why am I now not going to go get paid for it? Do you know what I mean? Like I've kind of done all the hard bit where I've travelled around the world, I've boxed in all these different countries, haven't earned a pound. To now I'm at a position where I can earn money, so it'd be silly not to. And I kind of turned professional with like no aspirations of doing any good. It was just like if I can box try and earn a few quid, then I'm gonna have a go. And that was kind of like what happened. I had a message off Sam Jones. He was my first manager, and he was like, "What are you doing boxing wise?" And it was during COVID. I just got picked for the World Games, so I knew if I went to the World Games, I got a very good chance to go to the Olympics. However, in front of me at the Olympics, we had like it was 81 at the time. It was Ben Whitaker, and they didn't even take the 81 kilo fighter. So I was thinking. I'm not going to get picked over Ben. Ben was a class operator. He's about 5, 6 years older than me. So it was very unlikely I was going to go to the Olympics, basically. So I thought I'll go to the World Games, get a medal, and just basically see what comes up next. And then the World Games got cancelled. And then that was basically, I was what, 17 years old. So I just, after the World Games was done, I just basically was ready to retire. And that sounds really mad because I was at a high level, but it's not known for anyone who I know to turn professional. It's like you're not going to go professional. You're not good enough. Like, do you know what I mean? You've got to be to that exact level. And then yeah, I literally had a message off Sam Jones, and he was like, "Look, Eddie Hearn's interested. Do you want to turn professional?" And I just kind of put. I've got the messages on my phone. I've sent back laughing faces, like I thought he was having me on. Didn't even know who Sam Jones was. And I said, "Look, do whatever you want to do. I'll fight whenever." Just kind of said I'm game. And yeah, within about 3 months, I made my pro debut, which was
That's mad.
this is that yeah, it was mental story because if I'm honest with you, you've only got to look at my debut back. Like I was just dieting. I weren't really training. Like it was just mad. It was kind of like just come so quick, and I thought I can't say no because I didn't even think I was going to turn pro. So I just said yes to everything, and then I made my debut in October, and then I didn't box again till April. So I took a nice bit of time after the debut to put things right, and yeah, make the corrections.
That's a really cool story. I think what
Yeah, it's mad.
I think's really interesting about humans, and you hear it sometimes, is like almost like taking the pressure off making something happen opens a door to make things happen. Do you know what I mean? Like you always hear it
100%.
sometimes.
Don't force it.
Yeah, where like you were like, I can take it or leave it, and
Yeah,
suddenly one of the biggest promoters in the world is like, I want you, and you're like, I was taking it or leaving it. Like I
yeah.
don't.
It
How's
was a
that come
life
about?
change. Like I was working on a building site at the time, just got furlough, so I'm thinking like I'm 17 years old, I'm earning money, I'm not even going to work, and hadn't like I didn't go out drinking or nothing like that. It was like I say, it was COVID, but it was kind of like the first time in my life I had freedom where I didn't have to diet. I could do what as I please. I could speak to mates. There was obviously people were still meeting up and things like this. And yeah, it was mad if I'm honest with you. And then I kind of just went from doing that to I think I went back to work for about 6 more months, and that was it. And I was full time boxer. So yeah, crazy really how quick things changed.
I definitely believe that like when you have a path and a purpose, doors open. Like you don't actually have
Yeah,
to, you don't have to push that hard. Like me with boxing, I'll bore you with my story one day, but it's been like open door after open door after open door. And I'm a singer-songwriter. All I ever wanted to do was sing. And I
yeah,
was
but then
like,
it's just
and it felt like there was always closed doors and difficulty and
yeah,
struggle. And then with boxing, it's been like door open, door open, door open. And I was like, this is clearly where I'm supposed to be.
yeah, exactly. Yes, you're calling without you
Yeah.
even knowing it is.
Yeah. It's wild how that happens, but it's kind of magical. Um,
Yeah, definitely, it's good.
yeah, I love it. And I think it's also a good reminder that if it's meant to be, it will be.
Yeah,
Like you,
100%. Like it don't matter how long it takes, it's gonna happen.
yeah, 100. And it's just letting go of that like pressure, like you know how the analogy of like when you hold sand, if you close your fist, like sand falls out your hands, but if you just hold your
Yeah,
hands open, it sits. So I always hold on to that one, just like don't hold on too tightly because it can disappear if you.
yeah, it'll go. Yeah, 100%. Like, not, like people used to say I was quite negative because I'd say like I expect very minimal, so then I'm always like happy with whatever I get. But I kind of not in that aspect, but I kind of like living life that way because then you are never disappointed. Like literally, you're grateful for absolutely everything. And I've always said if I never achieve anything else in this sport, I've absolutely had it off because, like I say, I weren't even going to turn pro. I didn't even think I was going to have a debut. So everything's a bonus. And I said after my first fight, whatever I achieve in boxing, it will be a bonus. But now we're slowly getting there. Got the Southern area, got the English title. Now it's like, well, why have I got this mentality? Let's start believing in myself a bit more and try and push on.
But I think it's okay to sit in the like almost like so, I was actually chatting to a friend about this morning, saying like I feel like a fan that got lucky because I'm in
Yeah, yeah,
rooms
100%.
like I love this sport so much that I could talk about it all day, every day. And I get to speak about it with the people that I watch doing it at a pro level.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So every day I walk into the room, every press conference, every late night, every time I have to travel up the country, I've got the biggest smile on my face because I'm like,
yeah. Because you're enjoying what you're doing.
I love what I do and I'm just a fan that got lucky. So I think it's okay to still have that mentality of just like, I'm just grateful for everything whilst knowing that you can achieve,
Yeah,
like I've
that's
got the
exactly.
goals, like I've got the goals that
Yeah,
I want, but I'm
but
not,
no, believe in yourself. That
yeah.
there's a reason why you're doing it because you are obviously good at it. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So like you can have that relaxed attitude of just like anything that I achieve, I'll be grateful with, whilst knowing you can achieve greatness, if that makes sense.
Exactly, 100%, 100%. A bit of both.
Yeah, exactly. I think that creates a healthy balance within without again that
Yeah,
suffocation and holding on too tightly. So you've already said that you come from a boxing family. Has your like do you think because I always ask people about the nature nurture debate when it comes to the mentality that is needed and the resilience that is needed to be a fighter because
yeah,
you like I have a joke with my friends in the gym that we're all a bit we're all tapped and that's why
hundred
we get
percent.
it. We're all a bit
Yeah,
messed
yeah.
up.
We've all got a screw missing.
Yeah it's like you like getting punched in the face. It's like yeah, I think it's with me at my level. I'm like yeah, I just do it for fun. Like I don't
Yeah,
even
it's mad, isn't it? It's
I just
mental.
it's like what's wrong with you. um but it means that there was my personal story, a lot of stories I've learned is that there's always like a little bit of fire that you're born with, but
Yeah,
then there's a
definitely.
fire that needs nurturing. So
Yeah.
do you believe that you were born with a certain level of fire, but it was nurtured into something great? Or do you believe that you were just born into a nurturing environment that helped grow a fire? Like nature nurture, like what do you think created you into being the fighter you are?
Yeah, I think like with me, like it was more I chose to box. I done it when I first started. It was obviously it was for my family, so it was like right, I'm going to do this. It's making people proud, and I love the feeling of make my family proud. If I'm honest with you, it never felt like I was ever achieving anything for myself, but I knew I was doing good. I was on a right path, and then I just think more for me. I've always had the mindset from a very young age that it was like I'm going to be successful. I don't know what I'm going to be successful at, but like if I genuinely mean it, it sounds might be a bit cocky, but if I weren't a boxer, I genuinely think I'd make it in something else because I just feel like I've got that. I don't know, like that. That's always been my goal. Like I'll work at something until I make it, and I always said it. Like when people would say to me, "You're not going to sign with Eddie Hearn because no youngster goes with Eddie Hearn unless they go to the Olympics," and I was like, "No, I think I will." Like just like although I didn't ever see the pro career coming, I kind of always believed that if I wanted to, I could. And it sounds really mad, doesn't it? But like
No, I get
yeah,
it.
just like mad things like that. And I just think if you've got good mentality, that will be anything. And as long as you stay dedicated to whatever you do, like last year I done this a modelling deal for Armani, and I've always dreamed of just being JD Sports, anything, a poster, just like doing mad things. And my management went, "Would you ever like to do something like that?" And I got given a few opportunities, and I turned a couple down because I just felt like I got told of a few people that they said if you kind of take one of the lower brands like a Boohoo Man or something like that, then the bigger brands won't approach you. So I was like, I don't want to turn things down because I never turn things down, but maybe I've got to take that advice. And as soon as I took the advice, my management kind of went, "Oh shit, I think you should have took that." And then about 2 weeks later, we had a big deal coming from Armani, so
Wow.
it was crazy. But it was like I genuinely believe like things like that. You just got to like trust your gut. If you've got a gut instinct, just be so confident in what you do. Don't be cocky about it. Just be humble by it, and it will come true. Like you said, if it's meant to be, it will.
I love that because and I was like kind of smiling along because there's it's so funny how you can have these thought patterns that make absolutely no logical sense to anybody else
Mhm.
or your current situation, but
No, exactly.
you just say it out loud. You're like, but that's obviously going to happen. Like obviously
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
going to
like it's
happen.
mad, isn't it?
Like
Yeah.
I just know it. I don't know why I know it. I just of course even if your circumstances are nothing to do with what is going on, you just have this
You
kind of
just got a feeling. And even if it's not a feeling, you just go with it, don't you? 'Cause if that's like that's what I think a lot of people get disheartened too easy. They get like they feel like they deserve the world. Like none of, in my opinion, none of us deserve anything. You got to work for it, right? So it's like if you keep being hard done by and everything you've done, oh, why didn't I get that opportunity? Why didn't I? Well, you're never going to get it. You've just got to keep pushing. And I think you should say, I've always been the say yes to everything. If there's an opportunity, say yes, and then later, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. But take every opportunity because it might just be that one. What's the blessing?
yeah, and you don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know what other
Yeah,
doors could
exactly.
open. Like I've had situations where something's happened in this like really bizarre alignment and it's like douche, 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 like one after the other.
Yeah,
And it wraps up very quickly. Like whatever that
yeah,
experience
hundred
was,
percent.
it finishes. But I picked out, I either met someone I needed to meet or I had an experience that I needed to have, or I,
Someone can put you onto someone else and help you do this. And yeah, like you're only as good as what your network is. And I 100% agree on that. Like I do a lot with my agency, which is like social events and probably so-called influencer events, which when I first started doing it, I was getting slated by boxers because everyone's like, why are you going to misfits, why are you doing corners? Because that ultimately is your circle. If you can sell more tickets, even if you're on the telly, it doesn't matter. If you can be a bigger draw for yourself, eventually that's going to pay off. And I've had some mad opportunities out of it. So yeah, definitely just got to stick to your own path, don't listen to others, and just yeah, crack on.
I love that. I think that's a great piece of advice to sink into people because obviously when I do this podcast, it's not just for boxing fans; it's for people who
Right.
could learn from the mentality of the fighter.
Yeah, I see what you said.
Because being the only fight that I have had, I said a lot of prayers to God because basically this heart condition is very debilitating. So when it plays, you never know when it's going to kick off, and it
Right.
can lead to blackouts, like breathless fatigue,
Yeah,
like
it's
dizzy
scary.
spells,
Yeah.
loads of stuff. So it means that it was so impossible to make it happen. And then even if I signed up for something, it's impossible to know if I would even get in the ring on the day because
Yeah,
the
you just
heart
don't know how it's going to be. Yeah.
weight loss also. The smaller I get, the more it kicks off. So it's like
Right.
very difficult to navigate. But I said a lot of prayers to the big man because I was like, I feel like boxing is in my path, and I'm very much someone who wants to have an opinion of something, not just assume an opinion of something. So
Yeah, fair play. No, I respect that. Yeah.
I know that there are some amazing boxing coaches out there who've never had a bout. I didn't want to be one of them. I
No,
want
no, I agree with you.
I
You
wanted
got
to
to
have an
know that
opinion.
feeling.
Yeah, know
Yeah,
what
100%.
I wanted to know what it felt like in the camp. I wanted to know what it felt like to do the weigh-ins. I wanted to know what it felt. I wanted to know all of it.
Yeah.
And so I went through this kind of this process and like I said, I've been a singer-songwriter since I was a kid. I've sung in front of thousands and thousands of people. And what I noticed was, so I did The Voice in 2017, shameless plug, but I did The Voice in
Oh,
2017,
sick.
and my nerves on the day were manageable, but my anxiety was through the roof. Like I couldn't eat and everything. I was very controlled in the chaos because I was used to it.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
but I did
100%.
but I did nothing to manage my mind. I did nothing to bring myself into a calm and level place to make sure that my voice was at its best,
Yeah.
to make sure my
You
own
just,
emotions were in check. I just familiarized myself in that level of chaos. Then
yeah,
when
you
I
just were strong, basically. You
yeah,
just, yeah.
I just learned how to navigate it. But then when I did my fight, I was like, I cannot because we did our medical at 1 and my bout wasn't till 9:45. So I had a very long day.
Right.
So I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah, yeah.
if I allow my nervous system to do what it does
You're
when
going
I
to be out
sing,
alive. Yep.
I'm not going to have anything left. So on that day, I had to do something differently. And when the whole thing, I had to do something differently. After the first round, I take a really, really big punch and she knocked me sideways. I managed to keep going, like, because being knocked out wasn't even something in my head. So I just kind of shook it off and
Yeah,
carried on.
yeah, yeah.
But I sat in the corner and I was looking through my coach and he was chatting and I couldn't hear a word because all I was thinking in my head was, fucking hell. Like, no one's hit me that hard in
Yeah.
my life. What am I
It's a
doing?
shock to the system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had a moment where I was like, right, you've got two choices, Rach. You throw in the towel and you say, actually, this is too hard. I don't want to do it.
Or
It's
you
too hard.
crack on and you get through it. Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
it was
Sitting
that
there thinking
simple.
about it don't make it no easier. Like 100%. Like we had this conversation with Ricky as it goes, and it's like you're gonna get nervous in the changing room before a fight, whatever happens, but you're not gonna pull out. Like you're not gonna quit. So you either learn to deal with it, or you're still gonna get in the ring and have a fight, whatever happens, whether you're nervous or you're not. So it's like you've just got to learn to deal. There's no easier way of doing it. It's just like you just said there. You've just got to pull yourself through it.
That's it. And it's a mental game. So
Mhm.
I literally, it was like a switch went off. I was like vacant And then I was like, right, let's go. And then I was back in, and I was like, it's 4 minutes. What's the worst that can
Yeah,
happen? It's 4 minutes. But
that's
obviously,
exactly.
I was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
three twos. Like, it's not,
Break it down.
it's
Yeah,
yeah.
bro.
But what I came away with was this thoughts of like, wait, if I could navigate my mind when I've been like Miss Chaos and anxiety and overthinking and energy and da da da, and I've managed to just navigate myself to work with my energy, get me through that fight, da da da, then there's obviously something here that
Yeah,
everybody should and can learn from, regardless of whether you're a fighter or not. I mean, obviously, my obsession is the boxing, but how can I share the stories of people like yourself to be like, you can learn from this. You don't ever have to
yeah,
put a
yeah.
pair of
You can
boxing gloves
relate
on.
100%.
But I think everybody should put a pair of boxing gloves on because I think
Definitely.
boxing is the best sport in
Yeah,
the world.
100%. I couldn't preach it enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely on that.
I was laughing with Elliot and Elliot Whale and Jimmy Sains, and I was saying
Yeah,
that I'm going to start a petition where I'm going to get all of you to sign it. I'm going to take it to government and be like, boxing needs to be in schools. Boxing
100%.
needs to
It
be in
should,
schools.
like it used to be back in the day. It should be still now. Like the amount of knife crime, I reckon, would go down, and bullying would go down. Everything would decrease because it's like as soon as a bully gets levered, they don't become the bully no more. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, definitely. Like I think I can't lie to you. This generation right now, I feel like snowflakes a bit. Like they don't want no. What's the word? Like there's no. I think a parent should be able to shout at a child and should be able to tell them what's right and things like that. I feel like there's too much. You don't know what you can get away with in today's world, but yeah, it's a bit.
We're losing the ability to let children build resilience because I'm not
Yeah,
saying that
that's you worded that a lot better. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
because I'm not saying that everything that I experienced was right, but at least it taught
No,
me a sense of self and self-reliance and
100%.
strength that
Yeah,
I can handle the world.
yeah, exactly. You technically don't need no one. If you was there on your own, you'd be able to sort the world out. Today's world, everyone feels like, like I say, they're a bit hard done by it and they're lost because there is no guidance. There's no one saying. There's too many options. I think in life. Sometimes you've got to be pushed in a direction, and like you say, if achieve that direction, but then you can always pivot off somewhere else, can't you? Like you always knew you was going to work in boxing, sort of thing. You enjoy it, and you've ended up there. But if no one help guide you with the right morals and the right, I don't know. I just feel like you pick up certain traits in the way.
Absolutely. And even that like dig deep ability that when life gets hard, because
Yeah, crack.
nobody swept in and mollycoddled me when life got hard. They supported me 100%. But it was
Yeah,
the case
exactly.
of, but you still have to get up and go to work. You still have to
Yeah,
earn
yeah,
money.
yeah.
Like,
They're gonna make you feel it's okay, but you've still got to crack on and do it yourself.
yeah, like my dreams aren't going to achieve themselves. Like I have
No,
to do it,
100%.
you
Yeah,
know?
100%.
So I definitely think you are, I don't think you're brand new in terms of your soul. John, I think you're an old soul. I think you've got
I've
a
been
few,
about before.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I was watching some interviews with you before. And I was like, there's no way he's 20. There's no way. Like, same with Moses Atalma. I'm like, no way. He's been around the
Oh,
block a few
mate,
times.
me and Moses were on the England teams together. Yeah, it's mental to be fair. Like we grew up together, and like what a talent he is. But he's the same. It's just like I remember Moses is actually younger than me, and it's like remember just being on. We went to Ukraine together. We went to Austria together, Germany, and I remember in Germany actually he was like having a panic attack over his opponent because he was a big lump, and I was like, you like how can you have a panic attack? I said you're literally like 16-0 with oh, I don't know what's happening there. You're literally like 16-0 with 15 knockouts, whatever it was. I said, like, you've got what is your panic? Like, how are you still getting nervous? But then you forget, like, you are just a kid. Like, it's
Yeah.
literally,
And actually, that's kind of it's funny because all we see is like the machine that he is now.
yeah,
That you don't even consider like he
it's all
has.
been a process.
Yeah, he's got human fears and emotions.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Two arms, two legs, and
yeah,
he feels the same as we all do.
absolutely. What do you think? So obviously, just because we've brought him up, um, obviously he just had another stellar knockout at the weekend. I mean, he's a
Yeah.
beast. Speed, power, whatever. What do you think about him teaming up and getting in the ring with Bacoli? Would you say it's too soon? Would you say it's a good matchup?
Moses beats him, I believe, 100%. I don't think he needs that sort of fight yet. Bacoli's a big man. Like I'd say it's a bit early in the sense that where do you go after that if you beat him? Do you know what I mean? How quick do you want your career to hit the peak? Um, I I think he can take on everyone at the minute. Like I genuinely mean that. Even the likes of the Tyson Furies, the Anthony Joshua's, all these names, Moses will give a great fight to. I don't think he beats them all. I think Tyson beats him yet. Well, it's all too much experience still, but he's that level where if he wanted to, he could become a prize fighter straight away because he'd give a good accountability of himself against all these fighters. And like I said, I think he beats a lot of them. But I've got to remember his age. Like I'm not far off his age, so it's like I know how he feels. There's a lot of pressure. a lot on the bright lights. I don't want to see him be rushed and then have a breakdown at 21, 22 when there's no need for that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he should enjoy his young career, take the right fights, the right time, get paid well. And eventually, God forbid, if you was 25 years old and you was world champion, you're not old, are you? Do you know what I mean? So I feel like he should just take his time.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice, and I think it's a sound thing. I mean, I think we've seen it with a few like really hot prospects who go up real fast, and then something happens. Like obviously
The
what happened.
Americans, man, like well, not being harsh to him, but like the Ryan Garcias, the Devin Haney's, the Teofimo Lopez's, Danny Garcia back in the day, like they all have really bad mental health. But I don't believe it's. We all struggle with mental health issues, but I don't believe it's been helped by them just going from 0 to 100 so quick and earning the rich money and earning all this, having the hard fights, having the hard training camps when they haven't let their body develop. Like you got to take off. There's a lot of life experiences that I think sculpture into the perfect fighter. Do you know what I mean? Like the likes of Pacquiao had so many fights, but the correct fights at the right time, and things like that. Yes, I just think sometimes they get rushed in.
I think also it's that pressure, isn't it, of like being told
Yeah,
you're the best thing, you're the hottest new prospect, you're gonna be a mate, you're this, you're this, you're this, and then suddenly you can't handle the first hiccup or the first
yeah.
difficult not like I mean obviously like look at I really like Ben Whittaker, but like look what happened with him with the first Liam Cameron fight. Like that was a horrible fall from
Could have
grace
broke
for
a
him.
man like that. Like
Yeah.
it could have. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the prime example. To be fair, is Ben. Look what happened there.
And he actually, because I was at the press conference after the fight and he just broke down. The
Yeah.
pressure of not only what happened, but then the camp and then seeing through the next fight, he just burst into tears. And I was like, yeah, fair. I can imagine
Yeah, yeah,
that was
100%.
a
Because
lot to carry.
he made a character of himself, and that character, everyone like loved to hate him, sort of thing. But at the end of the day, without being that character, he wouldn't have earned the money he earned. He wouldn't have got to that position he got to. He wouldn't have got the promotion he got to. He wouldn't have the 3 million followers on social media. So, as much as people love to hate him, he's done what boxing is. It's a business, and he's marketed himself very, very well. I remember
Yeah.
him going up to Eddie Hearn's face and telling him that he couldn't afford it, and I'm thinking. Are you serious? How can you say that to the earn? But then he went and got signed by Sky for probably double the money. So it's like this man is a genius, and
Yeah.
he markets himself very well.
So, what would you say has been your like most challenging moment or time through your either your amateurs or your pro career that you've learned from the most?
I'd probably say kind of fell out of love with boxing in the amateurs when I didn't really like boxing for Team England, if I'm honest with you. I'm a home person. Do you know what I mean? I like being around my family, missus, and that's kind of my enjoyment. So when we boxed for Team England, when I boxed for Team England, I had 16 fights for them, boxed internationally, and I was very lucky that I never got beat. Won everything abroad, and it was unreal. But the training camps, you was always up north. There was nothing down south, so you would have a couple of weeks away up Sheffield, a couple of weeks here down Catterick, um, Tamworth, all these northern places. When I was still like 15, 16. So obviously looking back at it, I wouldn't have got where I've got to now, and like I've done a Ukrainian training camp, like unbelievable experiences which I could only dream of doing. But when you're actually doing it, you don't feel like you're living the dream. Like it just feels awful. You feel like you're missing your family and that. So I definitely say they weren't the best times. And then also, I've done a box cup in Germany fighting for England. Come back and they thought I had a bleed on the brain, which luckily I didn't. But everything was over for about maybe 3 weeks, like when they was going through the process of saying what's the next moves, this and that. So I think then I've realised how much I love boxing because as soon as it was took away from me, I was like, oh mate, I just want one more fight, one debut, one pro debut that'd do me. Do you know what I mean? Um, and it was like when I was talking about turning professional at the time. I had a meeting with Lee Eaton, and I couldn't even front him because basically it was like a stroke on my face. So it wasn't a stroke. It's called Bell's palsy,
Yeah,
if you've heard of it.
I have, yeah.
But it looked like a stroke. So my eye dropped down to here, and then I couldn't close my mouth. So I was a bit like all wonky face. And I was like, how can I go to a manager asking him to guide my career when I can't even talk properly? Do you know what I mean? It don't look well. Um, so yeah, that was probably a mad time if I'm honest with you. But ultimately, I think it's just it's made me who I am today. So can't knock it.
The Bell's palsy, was that is that something that still occurs? Because it's reoccurring, is it not? Or was it
It,
something that
it
was triggered by something?
It can be. I think what it was, like, I'm obviously big at the weight. Done a mad weight cut in Germany, and it was free weigh-in. So I weighed in on the first day, didn't box, which done me no favours. So I didn't actually burn no weight off. So I made the weight, ate my food to box, and then never. So everyday weigh-ins were killing me. I was doing in Germany 70 kilograms, so I was like 6'4", weighing 70 kilograms, which is yeah, I was absolutely massive at the weight. And I think just the dieting, and then basically what they said is extreme dieting, not eating enough, not drinking enough, being dehydrated. Then on the flight, they said that the aircon could have caused it because it's a virus. Like apparently the aircon, someone could have had a cold, it could have gone into my system, and where I had no immune system, yeah, just gave me that. But yeah, it lasted for ages, man. Like honestly, I must have had it for about 7, 8 months. It was yeah, I was just praying that it was going to go away. To be fair, but
That's
yeah,
terrifying.
we got away with it. To be fair, so
Well,
yeah,
that's
mental.
it's terrifying because it just shows, doesn't it, like the extremes that I was laughing with like laughing, but like if you don't laugh, you cry with Brandon Glancy
Yeah,
about
yeah,
this because I was like, in what other sport do you have to perform at your best in the worst circumstances?
yeah, 100%. It's mad, isn't it? Like
Like
us
it
in
makes no
UFC,
sense.
yeah, it makes no. I know it's literally like gladiators, isn't it? You're doing it for other people's entertainment. It's crazy.
And it's just it rationally and logically, even though I actually boxed a lot heavier than I am. Like I walk around at like 60 kg now, like my walk around, and
Right.
I box at 66, which is massive for me. I was
Yeah, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
really
So did
like
you beat like did you eat up to that weight or
no,
you just
I
naturally
actually
bigger?
I was bigger at the time. I was miserable.
Right.
My life was going down rapidly, and there was a lot of snacking happening. And they
Yeah,
and they
comfort eating.
yeah, literally, my life was awful at the time. And they basically were like, "We're happy for you to stay where you are." So I stayed where I was. Even with all the training and stuff, I basically just maintained. But
Yeah,
how I box now at 60, just at my walk around weight, 60, 61, is a completely different person to how I boxed at 66, because obviously the
yeah,
weight.
yeah.
So
It's mental.
so it's like you do understand it because you're like, I don't feel good boxing at 60. Me personally, I didn't feel
Yeah,
good boxing at 66. I would much prefer
being a
to.
little bit lighter, being a bit quicker, nibble. Yeah, 100%. I get that.
So I get it and it makes sense. But when you actually break down the process and you hear about stuff like that your body has had to go through to try and.
Yeah, you put your body through torture technically, and it's not like a. This was the thing the doctor said. It's not like you're doing it once. Like especially on them in the amateur days, you're weighing in 3 times, so you've got to make that championship weight 3 days on a spin. At least with the professional ranks, it's a tough weight cut, but once you made it, it's the fighting and that's it. So yeah, that was probably like I say a mad thing to happen, but like I say, it's only for the best in a way.
Of course. I think also something that I've learned about being a human is we don't strive for happiness. We strive for growth. We
Yeah,
don't
100%. Yeah, hundred
we're not
percent.
actually happy stagnant. We're not actually happy.
No, unless we're pushing forward and like achieving things, then that is our happiness. I've always said that. Like people always say, "Do I love boxing?" I love what boxing's gave me, and I like the life I've made through boxing. But the sport itself, I think it's terrible. You like literally you're hitting each other in the head, aren't you? Like, do you know what I mean? But the feeling of winning. So, do I like boxing or do I just like the feeling of winning and knowing that I'm getting further in my life? I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
And it's that thing of like every time we get to push ourselves past where we thought we could go or go a little bit harder or whatever, it's a feeling of like that can't really be.
You can't buy it.
You can't buy it.
Yeah,
It's a personal journey. I was, and it's definitely the thing that I think needs to be remembered, that it's not.
yeah,
We don't want ease. We don't just want, like, you look at people who are multi millionaires, live, and how miserable they are. They're all drug
100%.
addicts and like doing all these things because they're
Oh, yeah, a million
trying.
percent. A millionaire wants to be famous, and a famous person wants to be a millionaire. It's always been the exact same. Like they're always striving for what they're not. Like I used to always think, why is a multimillionaire trying to put themselves on a telly? Like you've got your money, you don't need the telly. But then because they want fame now, they've got the money and they can't buy the fame. So like it's a like you just said there, we all strive for more. And I think when I feel like when that motivation goes, then you're back to square one, and you're like you say, mental health goes through the roof. You're depressed. Turn to whatever you can. Like a lot of them, like you just said, are on drugs and shit like that. So it's like, yeah, it's mad. It's not. Everyone thinks money is the route to happiness, and I definitely don't agree with that.
It really, really isn't. And for me, money is a thing that has come from creating a life where I'm happy. So
Yeah,
it's like
100%. Yeah, I'd
it,
rather be
so
happy earning
backwards.
20 quid a day
Yeah.
than sad and millions in the bank. 100%.
Yeah, I'll just cry on my yacht. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like it's just pointless,
That
isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Like, and also you realise like there's a lot of people who, when they get to the top, get a lot of money. They're the loneliest person as well. They haven't got a friend where they've cut everyone off because they've been on their own journey, and then you've kind of cut everyone off who was actually there for you. Got to be
Yeah.
careful. Keep
Because
the real ones.
you married quite young, didn't you?
Yeah, I got married last year, so I'm
20
23 now. So I was married when I was
22.
22.
Wow. How long have you
Yeah,
been
so
together?
since I'm 15. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah, got together young and yeah, just settled down, man. Because like that suited me. Do you know what I mean? Like we come from traveling backgrounds. Missy a traveller, I'm a traveller. So it's like it's just kind of me. My mum and dad they got married at 17 and 18. It's just kind of like tradition, I suppose. That like you just follow on, don't you? So yeah, it's good. I'm settled. Quite old for my age.
Yeah. I told you, you're not actually 23. You're like,
No, I'm
you're
a
so,
60-year-old in a
yeah,
23-year-old's body,
that's
and
it. Yeah, exactly. No, but I do find there's real beauty in the traveler community, in your culture and your traditions, because there's a lot of like wholesomeness to it, unity,
100%. Yeah,
community, like you all look after each other.
a
Um,
million percent.
I think that's really beautiful because it's not actually something that we experience as much as
No, no,
peoples now.
definitely. Like I just feel like that's one thing I swear by is like the whole getting married young doesn't mean like we look at it, we get married young so we can start life together. That's how it works better in our community because of that. Like, there's no scandalization and people saying this and that because they can't because you got married young. Like, people don't know that side of things, and then we live life together. Whereas, obviously, until we're married, we can't live together. So at the same time, people say, "Why are you getting married so young? You got your boxing career ahead." I was like, because, in my opinion, to get my boxing career where I need to be married. Do you know what I mean? Like, and everything falls. It's all part of the pyramid, isn't it? If the foundation's good, then you'll get to that top.
John, I think you need to preach to like young boys in schools. I think you need to go and like start teaching, because also like there's this fear, and again I was talking to one of the lads about this. There's this fear about like, obviously we've got this situation right now where feminism is changing, right? So women
Yeah,
are
100%.
asking more of the world. They're asking more of the experience. It's not that they want to take it from anybody. They just want to be
No.
given an equal opportunity. But what's happening in that growth is it is creating a friction with men, because either we've got angry feminists who hate men and are
Yep.
like we want to take on what's ours or whatever, which I don't agree with, because I think that we need to stop being so polarizing. But then there's other men who are like, you want to take what's ours, and this whole war
Yeah,
begins.
it's like it's just a clash between the two, and there's no middle ground, is there? Then no one wants to find a
Exactly,
middle ground.
exactly, and it's just noise. And so what happens is like the position of men based on the experience of the patriarchy as far as it has been is off balance, because they're like, well, if I knew that this is what I brought to the table before, I now don't know what I bring to the table, because you're bringing that to the table yourself, so what do I need to
Yep.
bring to the table? So it's this like, it ends up then killing chivalry, because and tradition, and being in a partnership where you're allowed to be in those masculine and feminine roles, even if there are other dynamics that are going on. So
Yeah.
it's the fact that like there is so much like mess and noise at the moment about how to be in like a traditional partnership whilst allowing life to just happen in the modern day. But I feel like something lovely about your traditions and that rootedness of just being like, you can still have a great life and have a wife and have a family and her still do her thing and da 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 da.
100%. It's like it's just like I've always it's just common sense in it. Like people nowadays, they just like they look at it only from their terms, and I feel like if you want all one thing, then you got to be willing to give up on some other things. You can't have everything your own way, and I think that's where people get it wrong, don't they? Like they preach one thing, but they kind of contradict themselves by saying another. Just yeah, you got to be true to yourself, innit? Whatever works for you, sort of thing.
Also, John, common sense isn't very common.
No, it ain't. It ain't. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Like, no one's got common sense nowadays, have they? Like, they've got to be told to do everything. Like, even like it's just COVID done me in. It was like we knew COVID was bad, right? And then or whatever. Like, so this meant to be this national lockdown, but until Boris Johnson said it, then we'll look at what like you know what's going on in the world. Like, you can see it for yourself. Why have you got to wait for him to tell you? Just use your brain.
I know, because
Like.
people don't want to. They want to be told what to do. They don't
Yeah,
want to.
they want to be told exactly. Like even with
Yeah.
the whole mask thing, like when they was going like the mask don't work. Well, don't wear one then. You ain't got to wait for Boris to tell you not to wear a mask, have you? Like, do you know what I mean? Like you
It's
know,
so true. It's so
it's
true.
mad, isn't it?
Like,
It's just
think
how it's
for
it.
yourself. Think for
Yeah.
yourself.
You
You
got
would
a
die
brain.
in the wild. You would die
Yeah,
in the wild.
100%. Where's your like brain? Do you know what I mean? And it's like I remember like even people on our street, like we live in a yard, so people near our street, they're like, no, when it was you can only do essential travel. Um, if you need to get about, is it essential to you? And we had people coming in the yard, like where we were at, asking what is essential travel. Well, it's up to you, isn't it? If it's essential for you, just go and do it. Do you need me to tell you it's essential? Like, we don't need to debate this. If you want to
It's
go
like,
get some milk,
oh, so
like,
good.
yeah, do you know what I mean? It's mad.
It's like what's essential for me might not be essential for you, so I can't
Yeah,
tell you
yeah,
what's
exactly.
essential.
So we're sat here and I'm having an argument with 70-year-old people. They're saying, yeah, but it's not essential. Can you go get it? Yeah, I can go get it, but you're also allowed to if you want to. Do you know what I mean? I ain't going to call the police on you because you've gone and got some milk. You know, like, it's mad. Absolutely mad.
Just say it's essential. You need the milk.
Yeah.
Like, what do you
Yeah,
want me to
yeah.
say?
Exactly. You need milk for your tea. It's essential. Like, what? You ain't going to get locked up. But yeah, it's mad.
Oh,
It's mad.
sensational. Honestly, being a human is quite an entertaining prospect, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? It is.
I'm not going to take too much more of your time, even though I could talk to you for ages because I've had a great time chatting to you today.
Man, Joe.
What's the best piece of advice or wisdom that you've received over the course of your career that's led you to where you are?
Best piece of advice. I'd probably just say just stick to your own journey. We were saying it earlier. You do it for yourself. I think when I first started out, like I say, I was doing it probably for my family more than me. But I'm probably say I'm the happiest I've been in boxing and in life, doing things what I want to do for myself. No pressure. Don't try and keep up with the Joneses and get the best motor because so and so's got it and think that you need this and that. Just do your own thing. And I think if you do your own thing, you can only ever be happy, can't you? Like you can't ever be sad because if someone's doing something and you look at them, you can just applaud them for doing that. You think like fair play, I'll get my shot soon, and that's it. Like I've these chats with my mates all the time. They're a bit lost in life, and I've kept them through school. They're like looking at me and they're thinking, "Oh my god, like you're cracking on, doing this," but it's only the same as working a normal job. Do you know what I mean? It's do be better at your job then. Put a bit more time in, work extra hours. Just that is literally it. Like I said, like it's only what I'm doing in the gym. And like the other thing is you create your own luck. I heard that in the amateurs, off an old trainer, and he always said, "Yeah, look, you train hard enough, you'll get it. Whether it comes now, later, or whenever, it might just not be meant to be for you, but something will fall in place." And it's basically what we was all saying earlier, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's a really good piece of advice. Who would you like to fight? I mean, I know like you're very respectful, so this isn't me trying to probe a call out, but just in terms of
No, no, no. Yeah,
what you believe would be an entertaining fight or just even a challenging fight that you'd really enjoy, like who would you like to get in the ring with?
I'd like to fight Vidal Riley. Eddie Hearn said it after the last fight. Ultimately, I was a British champion as an amateur, and it'd be a nice thing to go and achieve as a pro. I've won the Southern area, I won the English, and it's what's the word? It's traditional now to fight for the British. So yeah, I'm just up for challenging myself. Yeah, just I've done everything that asked of me. Eddie said to me after like when I first signed with him, I want you to go the traditional route. Didn't kick up. Just said yeah, I'll do it. Every opponent he's offered me, I've accepted without even thinking of it. So I feel like I've kind of lived up to my word and I've done everything I said I would do, and I've done it without. I think I've lost two, three rounds maybe in my whole career, as a pro. So I can't really knock it. I've done it all exactly as it should be. And I think Vidal's a great fighter, so I know whatever happens, we put it on the line, two of us together. He's gonna show up. Do you know what I mean? So, but I genuinely mean not in a cocky way at all. But I will fight anyone. I just feel like I've got to sometimes keep a business head on, so I get paid the most money and I don't walk into a silly fight. But yeah, it's just as long as it's going in that direction and it's pushing me up the ladder and it's not pushing me down, then why not? I'm not I'm not scared of losing. I'll fight anyone.
Amazing. And if you could fight someone, dead or alive,
Yep.
who would it be? It doesn't have to, and don't worry about weight categories. Let's just pretend they're cruiserweight.
Just whoever.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I would fight. It sounds mad. I'd fight Roberto Duran because like the whole he's got a bit of an attitude and he likes to have a tear up and that whole no mass thing. I feel like yeah, I could frustrate him a little bit. Just he'd definitely give me an eye on him, but yeah, I could just tangle him up, little lead of hands, run about the ring a little bit, frustrate him, and yeah, he's a character as well. Now, he's a proper fighting man. Do you know what I mean? So
Mm.
no, it'd be good to have a beer with after.
Amazing. John, thank you so much for this conversation. I've really, really
You're
enjoyed it.
welcome.
It's been good fun, good laugh. It's been lovely to get to know you a bit better. And I can see so many amazing things for your future, not just in boxing, but alongside it, because you're great, great, warm and personable. So, and like you
I
said,
appreciate that. Thank you.
that's a real testament to you and your family as well, the way they've raised you. So
I appreciate that. I like hearing
yeah.
that.
Look, have an amazing rest of your day. I'm really
Well,
looking forward to
Andrew,
seeing like what happens in the future and what you've got coming next. And
definitely.
I say this to everyone, but obviously you're going to tell me first what news comes in. I mean,
Yeah,
I'll
100%. Yeah, like
expect.
stay in contact. No,
That's
definitely,
it.
100%.
I keep saying to everyone, I'm like, because now we're best friends, so obviously I'm going to get the news first, you
Send us
know.
a message.
Yeah.
No, definitely. No, it's been nice chatting to you. It was a good
Amazing.
interview.
Amazing. Chat
Nice
to you
one.
soon. Take care.
Andrew, take care.